welcome back to our fourth episode of the SNS Sports Show. I have Alan Snyder. Our first topic is going to be free agency. Um, we're going to do the five top free agents in the NBA. Our first one is Gordon Hayward. I think Gordon Hayward should go to either stay in the Jazz and see what happens with their team, or go to Boston. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, so we all know where Durant's gonna go. Durant's already said he's gonna resign. Curry's obviously gonna resign. So I think Durant right now is the biggest free agent. He obviously just opted out of his contract with the Jazz. Honestly, he could resign with the Jazz, but honestly, I don't think he's gonna go back to the Jazz. I mean, he opted out for a reason. I think he wants to go somewhere else.
I
But
mean,
I think the top two destinations are probably Boston, and I also saw that he meted with the Heat the other day. So I think the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics are the top two choices. Honestly, I'd like to see him. I think if the Celtics got him, they'd be a very, very good team. I think they could definitely compete with the Cavaliers if they were able to get Gordon Hayward. But to be honest, I would like him more on the Miami Heat. I think the Miami Heat, the season they had last year, they started like 10-30, and then they finished in the second half of the season. They finished like 30-10, so they had like the biggest turnaround ever. I think the Miami Heat have a really good future with Goran Dragic, Whiteside, uh, uh, Justice Winslow's coming back from injury, and if they can get Gordon Hayward, that would be a really, really good team. But yeah, I see him either going to the Celtics or the Heat. I don't think he's going to go back to the Jazz.
he has to opt out if he wants. If he's staying with the Utah Jazz, he's asking for more money for a
Yeah,
long term deal.
yeah.
So our next player is Blake Griffin, and I think he should go to Oklahoma City Thunder to play with Russell Westbrook and help Westbrook out.
Yeah, Blake Griffin also opted out of his contract. The Clippers are definitely in a rebuilding mode, but where I think he's gonna go, he obviously, I think he had a meeting yesterday, or he's gonna have a meeting with the Suns, and they can offer him a 4-year, $130 million contract. So who knows? He might accept that. But I mean, I wouldn't like to see him go to the Thunder because that would make the Thunder better, and so, but I think he would be good on the Thunder. I mean, the OKC needs another star in order to be good, and Westbrook can't do everything on his own. So, if they were able to sign Blake Griffin, him and Russell Westbrook would be a very, very good duo. And I think OKC might be able to be a good team again, and they might be able to maybe get to the Western Conference Finals. Who knows? But yeah, so that's a very intriguing topic. Blake Griffin can honestly go anywhere. There isn't really like a specific place that he's rumored to go to. I think every team is looking to get Blake Griffin.
And also next is Chris Paul, but something special happened to Chris Paul. He got traded for the Houston Rockets for Patrick Beverly, Sam Decker, Montrezl Harrell, 2018 first round pick,
Luke Williams.
Lou Williams, and some other pieces from different teams. And
Yeah,
I think that's great for the Rockets because now they have Harden and Chris Paul, and they can get people in free agency can can fight with the Warriors.
yeah. Yeah, I really like this trade. I think for both teams. I think the Clippers are obviously trying to rebuild. They obviously lost Chris Paul in a trade, so they obviously gave him up. I think Blake Griffin just opted out. He's probably going to leave. I think DeAndre Jordan is going to be the only one there. So they're definitely in rebuilding. But I think the Clippers got four really good players. I mean, Patrick Beverly. Everyone needs a Patrick Beverly on their team. Um, he just has the heart of a champion. I mean, he plays with ferocity, and he's just plays 110% all the time. And then they got Lou Williams, which is a six man of the year candidate. He'll probably even start on the team. Same with Patrick Beverly. And then they got two young players in Sam Decker and Montrezl Harrell. Sam Decker will probably even be the starting small forward. So we might even see three ex Rockets in the starting lineup next year for the Clippers. Who knows? And then for Montrezl Harrell, he'll probably be. Oh, if Blake Griffin does leave, well, he probably will be. I mean, you could even see Montrezl Harrell starting on that team. They got four really good players, and they're definitely rebuilding mode. As for the Rockets, they got a 9-time All-Star. I mean, this guy is a beast. He's been doing it his whole career. Chris Paul, he's a Hall of Famer, a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the best point guards of all time. So him and Harden in the backcourt is going to be hopefully something special to watch. They obviously did give away a lot of pieces, especially for the bench, but we still have free agency coming up tomorrow. So they're still going to hopefully be able to sign some players to fill the bench, and
I
so they
just
can
heard
have a
about
complete
JJ
team. But
Redick
once
might.
this team gets complete, like they fill up their bench with some solid players in free agency, I think it's going to be something special. I mean, Chris Paul and Harden, they're going to be like the pick and rolls with Capella and Harden and Chris Paul. That's going to be insane. The amount of lobs, Lob City 2.0. But yeah, it's going to be crazy. Chris Paul is an all-star, future Hall of Famer, and he's going to be something special with Harden down there in the backcourt.
I just heard that JJ Redick is interested in joining the Rockets.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, that he would be a perfect fit, obviously, for the D'Antoni system. D'Antoni loves to shoot threes, and Redick is one of the top 3-point shooters in the league. So he would be a pretty good fit in Houston.
So the next up is Kyle Lowry, and I think Kyle Lowry should stay in Toronto. They have a good team. I mean, they have a chance to resigning Serge Ibaka. They have DeRozan. I mean, they're up there with Boston. They might need some few pieces here and there in free agency on their bench, but I think he should stay in Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto's been good the last couple seasons with DeRozan and Lowry. I'd like for Lowry to stay because, like you said, I think with DeRozan and if they can re-sign Ibaka and with Valanciunas, uh, Damari Carroll, I mean, they have a pretty solid team, very good team. So if they can just go out in free agency and sign some solid role players for the bench, I think that was always their weakest. The worst part of their team was the bench. They've never really had a really good bench. So if they can re-sign and sign some good bench players, I think they can really compete with the Cavaliers for second and Boston for second place in the East. So hopefully, but yeah, if he doesn't re-sign with the Raptors, I really want to see him go to the Timberwolves. There's a lot of rumors that he might be going to Minnesota. I think if he could go to Minnesota and you have Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, and Karl Anthony Towns, that is definitely they just went from like missing the playoffs to being like a top 6 seed in my opinion.
Maybe
Definitely, maybe
maybe
even
even
top
fifth
5. They
seed.
could even be top 5
Yeah.
seed if they can get Kyle Lowry because not they just gotta get Jimmy Butler and with Kyle Lowry there. Ooh, that team can be deadly.
And
So we'll see what
he
happens with Kyle
believes
Lowry.
in defense with Tom Thibodeau,
Yeah,
defensive champion. Kyle Lowry fits that defensive mindset.
yeah.
And our last person we're gonna be talking about is Paul Millsap. Where do you think he's gonna go?
Um, Paul Millsap is also rumored to. I mean, every team is interested in Paul Millsap. I read that he's interested in going or rumored to. Got interest from the Kings, the Nuggets. I think maybe like the Suns and the Rockets. I think honestly he would be best in the Rockets. I mean, all the other teams they're not really going to be winning anytime soon. So if he can go to the Rockets, he can. He's an all-star, so he's going to get to Houston and he's going to be an automatic starter. He's going to help that team compete against Golden State and San Antonio in the West. And I think I mean, he wants to win a championship too. He's been in the league for a while. He's been on the Hawks, but they've never been able to. They've been in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they've never won it. They never made it to the finals. And I think if he can go to Houston, he has a good chance of helping that team defeat Golden State and maybe winning a championship with Chris Paul, Harden, and Millsap. That would be a really good big three, in my
Oh,
opinion.
that team would be very good. I mean, I can
Yeah,
see them being number one in the West with that team. Chris
yeah,
Paul, Hart. If they figure
yeah,
something out, and they're dangerous. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So that's it for today. Please subscribe. Please share. Please put the little bell on so you get notifications.
Yeah.
Um,
So thank you all for watching. I'm Alan Snyder.
and I'm Jad Solangi. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.